Ronnie Floyd is a leader of leaders with a vision to change the world. The 4 Leaders podcast with Ronnie Floyd is committed to investing, inspiring, and influencing your life and leadership today. With a legacy of investing in thousands and thousands of leaders throughout the years who've led in multiple arenas of leadership. Now is the time, and today is the day for Ronnie Floyd to invest, inspire, and influence you in a serious and responsible way. So spread the news and share the 4 Leaders podcast with others around the world. Now, here's your host, Ronnie Floyd.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to podcast 68. My name is Ronnie Floyd, and I'm here today to talk to you about a very important subject. When you get hurt in life. This subject is real, and what we're going to talk about today together is real. When you go through hurt in your life, it can impact every area of your life, including your career, including your family, including your marriage. It can even impact those things like your financial income. It can impact your perception among your friends and your peers, as well as your feelings about yourself as an individual. Hurt is real, and when we live life long enough, we will walk through some hurt in life. So I want to urge you today to share this podcast with a friend, whether they listen to it or whether they watch it on YouTube. It is so important that each one of us learn from one another about how to walk through life successfully, even when we get hurt and we limp from that day on because of that hurt. But that limp can be your friend, even as it was with Jacob, because it reminded him that God was more powerful than him. And each one of us need to understand that when we walk through the hurts of life, we have God with us, and that God can see us through and can help us to know that He is alive and He is with us through it all. When you get hurt in your life, it impacts every segment of your life. It is really difficult to try to compartmentalize your hurt. Like, I'm going to set my hurt on the side over here and try to lessen the experience of it. That just cannot happen. And even though we may try for that to happen, and we wish it could happen, we will have to learn what it's like to live life from a different perspective and to live life once you've gone through some hurt in your life. You know, we don't talk about our hurt aloud many times, but that doesn't lessen the reality of the hurt. In fact, God may use you to talk about that hurt in a very helpful way for others who are also walking through or have walked through or will walk through hurt in their life. Recently, I was speaking in a situation, and I made the observation, as some of you have heard, and I believe it is so true, hurt people hurt people. When you walk through life, and many times you will get hurt by the actions of someone against you or about you, and you wonder, where did that come from? And all of a sudden you become the brunt of their hurt? Well, that happens because hurt people hurt people. That's really all they know at times. And there are moments and there are situations where each of us may become the target of someone else's personal hurt. That's why sometimes people can strike out at you and you did nothing. You were just in the room. You were a face on the wall, but all of a sudden you became the brunt of their hurt. You see, they want to get someone back for something that perhaps you haven't even done, but they're going to take it out on somebody, and you just happen to be right there. All because they are striking at you because of their hurt that they have never been able to deal with nor to rid in their lives. When you read through the book of Job, you learn real quickly that Job went through great hurt and great pain in his life. He lost everything. He lost everything. His wealth, his status, his children, his reputation, and even lost his health. It was so bad in Job's life. His own wife questioned him and told him, "Job, why don't you just curse God and die?" His friends judged him severely, and they scolded him for where he was in his life, accusing him of all sorts of things that just did not happen. And in addition to all of this, Job even felt the deafening silence of God in his situation. But while Job's pain was beyond our imagination, because of its severity and because of its multi-dimensional effect that occurred in many areas of life in a sequence, and it almost seems they came at once. We know that Job alone would be the authority on how to walk through all of these things and the painful hurt that so caused him in his life. Yet the reality of us faces this, that when you live life long enough, you will experience hurt. We all experience hurt. I don't know how many people are going to listen or to watch this podcast, but I can tell you, whether it's hundreds or whether it's thousands, listen, what I do know is we could all stand in line, because there are moments and there have been episodes and experiences when we have experienced hurt. There are times when we walk through even greater hurt in our lives. But regardless if it's hurt or greater hurt, whether it's one hurtful situation or it is a series of hurtful situations, we need to know this. Others may harm us, or the circumstances of life may wound us deeply. But as long as we are in this flesh, we need to understand that pain and hurt will be a part of life. But here's the reality. How do we deal with that? And what do we do when we walk through hurt in life? I mean, where have you been hurt through your life? Could you imagine sitting in a circle with a group of people, a few hundred, and the circle was huge, and we listened to the stories of hurt, one after the other, after the other? Because you see, it doesn't matter whether it's a child or whether it's an adult. The hurt is real to them. For some, it may be this much hurt, but it's all the hurt they know. And others, it can be gigantic hurt because their lives have been filled with multiple hurts and pain in their life. Some of you who are watching this podcast, you may have been hurt as a child. Your parents hurt you. Someone else hurt you. They abused you verbally or physically or even sexually. The hurts of life are real, and it happens at all ages of life. Some of you may have been hurt as a teenager who did not fit into the mold of whatever that teenager felt it needed to be, and you became the brunt of the jokes. Or you were the one that wasn't chosen on the team, or not chosen to be this or to be that in your school. Or you were hurt as a young adult who thought the job was coming, but all of a sudden you were turned down because of your lack of experience, and you're still in the midst of the job search, and yet you're ready, but nothing has happened. Or maybe you're a parent who receives arrows from your children because they want nothing to do with your way of life. Or maybe they don't want nothing to do with your God that you tried to teach them how to follow him. Yet now they think they know more than you, and they target you, and they're mean to you, and they hurt you. Or maybe you're a married couple today, and your lives have been miserable. And all of a sudden your spouse hurts you deeply by their words, and even betrayed your vows sexually, morally, and in marriage. And now the world is upside down, and you're all alone, hurt, broken, deep in pain. Or perhaps you're a middle-aged man or woman on the professional pathway, and all of a sudden you are notified that your job has been eliminated and your job has ended. And here you are in some of the highest earning years of your life so far, with much in front of you, still more to go. And you've been sidelined. And in a moment's notice, you didn't see it coming, but it came. and it's painful, and it's a setback among setbacks for you professionally. Or maybe in your 50s or 60s and you walk through a major career setback due to matters out of your control, and now it's like you're starting your career all over again, and here you are, you're supposed to be in your moment, your time. This is the time you are to shine and be at the peak of your earning capacity. And yet now, look what's happened. Or maybe you're in your senior years and your children and your grandchildren, they just look past you now. And they really neglect who you are, what's happening in your life, due to their own busy schedules and lifestyles. Oh, listen, hurt is real. Hurt is real. I'm reminded of the book of James in the New Testament. It's talking about the trials we face. And these trials and these hurts and these moments of tribulation, James says they come in all sizes and packages and colors. And boy, he was right about that, wasn't he? You see, hurt can set us back severely. Hurt can paralyze our steps and shift our imagination into neutral. Hurt can lead us to turn bitter about life and even bitter toward people. Hurt can make us want to give up and turn downhill towards disappointment and even walk in near deep depression. Hurt is real. It's real. We do not get saved from hurt in life. We will walk through hurt, and it will come. And this is why I'm talking to you about it today, because if you're not in it now, you will be one day. And it will impact your life. You see, when we have pain and hurt, we can release these to God. We can give them to Jesus, but it's hard for us to do. Because we also, at times, when we walk through hurt, many people lose their spiritual direction. So I want to move you to the Bible just for a moment, because we need to learn from Job. What did Job do with his hurt? The Bible says in Job 19:25, and I quote, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and at the last he will stand upon the earth." I want you to do what Job did. Job acknowledged, he reflected upon, and deeply appreciated that God was involved with him. He knew the hand of God had touched him. Listen, your Redeemer lives, and let the hand of God touch you, and believe in God's sovereign hand, and align your life with what God seems to be doing right now. And that hurt will lessen, and that hurt may go away. There's a second thing he did. Job rejected the poor counsel that his friends had given him. Are you willing to do this? Are you going to let your negativity of your friends define you? Or let the trial define you? Oh, it will impact your life. There's no doubt about it. But you don't let the negativity of your setback, the negativity of your hurt define you. You have a purpose, and it's God's purpose. God is doing something in this situation. So do the third thing Job did. Job rested on his living Redeemer, whom Job belonged to and knew would always stand up for him and vindicate him before all. You see, Job believed that our God would redeem the situation. Do you believe God can redeem your situation and your hurt for God's glory and even for your good? Job knew that he would one day see his Redeemer, and that comforted him in the midst of his storm. And if you know Jesus today, one day soon you will see Jesus also, and that should comfort you in the midst of your hurt and pain. And as much as life hurt, Job ached even more that he would one day see his Redeemer who lives. My friend, if you know Jesus Christ in your life, your Redeemer lives. And I want to urge you today to look to him when you get hurt in your life. God never leaves you. And God wants to refine you through that hurt. And he wants to even redefine you in a brand new way when you walk through any pain, any hurt, or any adversity. Know today and be comforted. Your Redeemer lives.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information on Ronnie Floyd, go to 4leaders.com. We'll see you next time.